Will Bilal Coulibaly break out in the second half of the regular season? And is Alex Sarr an option at the power forward position or the center position long term? Come on, we're going to talk about it next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter, introducing the Locked On Wizards Daily Newsletter, a one-stop for the ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with all new free Locked On Wizards newsletter. All right, everybody, today we're going to do our mid-season grades, but tonight it is Be Cool and the Big Eiffel. We're going to look at the pros, the cons, and what to expect for them in the second half of the season. And then kind of look at some other things towards the end. We're definitely going to look forward to because the next game, or the first game that is in the first half, or the second. Look, I can't get it together tonight, AB. The first game of the second half of the season is on Friday, so we're going to kind of look at that, even though we will have a preview on Thursday night. So, all right, AB, let's get into it, man. Let's start with Be Cool, aka Bilal Coulibaly. Now, looking at Bilal, real quick before I get your take. Now, if you look at the stats real quick, his rookie campaign, he did average 8.4 points per game, shooting 43% from the field and 34% from three. He also averaged 1.7 assists and 4.1 rebounds. Now, his stats did go down in his sophomore campaign, where he's shooting only 28% from three. And he let me look at it where find field goal, 41% from field goal range. But his scoring average did go up to 12.4 points per game. So AB, what are his pros, his cons, and what are your expectations for Be Cool in the second half of the season?
Hey, man, it only took less than 24 hours for Bilal to get his first career triple-double after Kyle Kuzma got traded. I've been telling people all this time, once Kuzma and these vets are gone, we're going to see a lot of high motor from these young guys and playing with energy. That's what we want. Bilal, we saw in the first half of the season, there was glimpses of him like shining out and dropping 20 points per game. But then offensively, there were games where he just wouldn't shoot the ball at all. And that hinders a young guy like him. A young guy, 20 years old. Like, oh my goodness, so freaking young. I mean, again, he coming out of the draft was known as Wembanyama's teammate, but now with his upside defensively, I mean, he his wingspan. I mean, can block any shot on the court. Like, again, not comparing to Giannis Antetokounmpo, but when he was coming out very raw, but now once he gets the offensive bag going, defensively, he's already a menace, and he's only going to get better. I just think he's got it all the intangibles. Now, cons, I think it's just the fact that like, if he shies away from the big moments, like from now on, I want Bilal to take those last shots of the game. I want him to take the crunch time shots. I want him to make the right decisions because, again, it's okay to make mistakes because this team is young. In the second half of the season, we say it time and time and again, there's going to be a lot of mistakes because you're a younger team. But at the end of the day, those mistakes will come down and hopefully learn from in the future when this team is a contender.
Oh, absolutely. Are you ready to grade them yet? What do we grade Be Cool?
So I think, again, like, I really want to see how the second half is because, again, I keep saying the vets were holding him back, but I'll give him a B just because we saw those like high flashes of him dropping 20 points per game and just blocking shots and being a menace and just high volume defense. And I don't maybe give it a high C plus, but right now I'll say B.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take a different approach as far as the grade, but before I get into my grade, I mean, looking at the pros, I agree with you 100%. Obviously, with Kyle Kuzma, kind of being that number two option behind Jordan Poole in the first half of the season. Bilal Coulibaly, really a mixed bag as far as what they expect from him coexisting with Kyle Kuzma on the court. Now that Kuz is in Milwaukee, it really gives him the opportunity to be that guy, to really, to be that second fiddle, to be that running mate with Jordan Poole. And, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I say B plus because the biggest thing knocking him is consistency. Like I said, it's really a mixed bag as far as him coexisting with Kyle Kuzma now. He's got the opportunity to really showcase what he can do. Defensively, I think we both agree that he plays at an all defensive level, man, as far as defense. I mean, he is a high-level defender. The biggest thing with him is offense. Stringing together a consistent offensive performance every night and being that weapon offensively. You see glimpses, but the biggest thing with him is consistency. So him not meshing with Kuz, I'm not really going to put it on him too much, even though you could argue, yeah, you were the third option at that point. And really, the question, we asked this question before, AB. Not so much with the first or second option when it was Poole and Kuzma, but who emerges as that third or fourth option. So I was kind of looking at a little bit more from Bilal than really emerges that third score. But like I said, look, the showcase, look, the spotlight's on him now. He is second fiddle now. I mean, there are expectations for Bilal now. But like I said, offensively, he worked on his game, and that's why I give him a B+. I kind of flirted with an A- because but I decided to go B plus. And like I said, I went with A minus with Jordan Poole. A lot of people got on me, but the biggest reason for that is not so much. Yeah, we know, I'm a slide, kind of divert a little bit real quick. But looking at JP13, we know that there's things he definitely needs to work on. But to me, why he ain't that, why he earned that grade was because of the work he put into his craft in the off season. Him emerging as a leader in the locker room. I think those are the factors that took him from B territory to A minus because of those factors. Being the guy now, I think those factors definitely count. Looking at Bilal, to me, it's B plus. I think just you giving him. Look, I believe he led all Wizards in minutes in the first half. So continue to give him those minutes, let him do his thing. No expectations. It's year two. I'm gonna rebuild. It's year two for Bilal. I'll just go out there and play his game. But like I said, he worked on his game in the offseason. AB. He added a mid-range shot. The total lack of hesitancy to shoot the 3-point shot, which I think is a big key factor why his 3-point percentage has gone down. Because last year he was very hesitant, even though at times he shot high percentage 3-point attempts because very often than not he was wide open. I mean, people weren't challenging him. They were kind of, hey, go ahead and shoot. Now I think that a little, not the defense are giving a little more respect because he's still not where he needs to be as far as being that consistent offensive weapon, but he's less hesitant. You see the aggression. You see, and that's what you want to see from Bilal. You want to see him be that aggressive scorer because the thing is, JB13 is that the one scoring option, and we see it every night. He is the key focus of the opposing defenses. So who emerges as that number 2 option? Who emerges as that third option? You're looking at Sarr. We're going to talk about him in a minute. Fourth option. You're looking at Keyshawn. You're looking at Corey Kispert. Who emerges because you don't have Kuz anymore. You don't have the other guy who is that microwave volume scorer. So we need Bilal to kind of be that guy, and you're going to see a lot of growing pains in the second half of the season. So, I mean, saying that, AB, the question for you is, do you think that Bilal Coulibaly will formally break out in the second half of the season, or do you think that the second half of the season will kind of be like a springboard for momentum going to his third year?
No, I definitely think it would be a lot better than the first half because, again, the spotlight's on him to be that second and third option, whether Sarr comes in and plays more minutes. But at the end of the day, Bilal Coulibaly, it's just we didn't expect it to be this early for the progression. We expected it year 3. I mean, we mentioned it. Year 2, very early. So now you've seen glimpses of it, and now hopefully you see it and then you make sure that it's consistent. That's the biggest thing. And I'm pretty sure Coach Keefe, he's been doing a great job with that. And now that there's more focus on developing the young guys rather than balancing the minutes with the vets and their trade value. Like it's both sides of the party. It's great right now. And I just feel like Bilal is playing in the Olympics this summer. Just hopefully maybe he can hit a lethal shooter. Maybe he can get a session or 1 or 2 in with them and develop that jump shot. And again, like his ability to slash, two-way player. I mean, again, the ceiling is really, really high. I know if you're not a Wizards fan, you're probably thinking like, yo, why are these guys gassing up Bilal Coulibaly? But if you really look at it, the circumstances they had to deal with, this dude could be a monster in this league.
Oh, I agree 100%. And like I said, with Bilal, the biggest thing is confidence. You also notice in the first half that at times he kind of second guesses himself. He kind of sells himself short a little bit. Now you can be that aggressive guy. Go out there and play because, like I said, he put the work in the offseason and improved ball handling. Now you see him, slowly but surely become more of a playmaker to a certain degree. Mid range, I love his mid range shot. I think that he definitely needs to lean on that a little more, especially getting into the paint. Really rely on that mid range shot in that that floater going into the paint. We know he can attack the basket. He can put people on the poster. His 3-point. Once he figures out a consistent 3-point shot, man. I mean, the sky's the limit for this kid because I think that at first when he was drafted. A lot of people are like, all right, Cam Whitmore. But you have to look at what they're trying to do and what kind of qualities they value in guys. Yes, Cam Whitmore would have been a guy who would have, produced right away. Not taking, Cam Whitmore, I'm a big fan of him. He's a microwave scorer, man. He's a dog. But, like I said, this was a conversation I had with Will Dawkins. And my question was, when you look at prospects, are you looking at what they are or what they can be? And they're looking at what they can be down the road. And when you look at Bilal, you see, now you kind of see where they're coming from. He has to be molded. He has to be developed. And yes, you can kind of say, maybe he'll break out in year 2, but I think that the second half of the season will be a springboard for a breakout campaign in his third year because I think that, yes, he's going to have he's going to have the green light. He's going to be expected to be that number 2 scoring option. And, to a certain degree, Alex Sarr, you definitely want to see him step up. And like I said, we're going to talk about the big eye for the minute, but a lot more expectations now. But I do think that there's going to be a lot more growing pains. There's going to be a lot more struggles, but you want those struggles. Like you said, AB, you want those struggles with a young team because the second half of the season, you're going to be young. I wouldn't expect too much out of Middleton, even though I think he can still contribute. Marcus Smart, what can he really provide, outside of mentorship? I mean, he can still play, but, it's a youth movement now. There's a lot more expectations in young guys, not just Bilal. Obviously, Alex Sarr, number 2 overall. There's expectations, especially now that he's shown that he can get better every single week. Bob Carrington, a lot of spotlights on him around the league. Keyshawn George, Tristan Vucevic. I mean, the future is bright. So they're going to have the opportunity to just go out there and play. No expectations right now, but don't get it twisted. Year 3 going into next year, there are expectations, especially you want to see that massive leap by Bilal. Now that you know what Alex Sarr and Bob Carrington are capable of, even though they both do need further development, the sky's the limit. We haven't even talked about Tristan Vucevic yet, which is the guy, I'm looking at him as the future backup center of the future behind Alex Sarr. And even then, both of them can play the 4. So there's just capabilities in this draft because we have 2 first-round picks in the upcoming draft. So you could very well go get another 7-footer and still come away with Harper or Cooper Flagg or A.E. Spelly. I mean, this is a great opportunity in this draft coming up. So the biggest thing with Bilal, just like Alex Sarr and Tristan Vucevic, is versatility. Because here's the thing: depending on where we go in this draft, Bilal could be the future 2 guard. He could be on the wing. I don't ever see him at a power forward, but the thing is, he's versatile enough where I think he can flourish wherever he goes. So to me, it's a B+. I think that the big thing you're looking for from him is consistency. And once he finds that, we have definitely found a star in the 202. So Alex Sarr, aka the Big Eiffel, what are his pros and cons, and what are our expectations for him in the second half of the regular season? So we're gonna get into that. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by TurboTax. This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Texas was waiting and wondering and worrying if you were going to get any money back. And then waiting, wondering, and worrying some more. Now Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes as soon as today. An expert who gives your taxes their undivided attention as they work on your return while they get real-time updates on the progress so you can focus on your day. An expert who will find you every deduction possible and file every form, every investment, everything with 100% accuracy. It's that easy, y'all. Also, you can get the most money back guarantee. No waiting, no wondering, no worries. Now this is taxes. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guaranteed. All right, AB. On to the next, brother. All right. The Big Eiffel, a.k.a. Alex Sarr, man. And like I said, bad summer league. People already called this man a bust. I mean, he did start the season off slowly, but he has gotten better and better every week in and out, man. So, I mean, what are the pros? What are the cons? And what are your expectations for him in the second half of the regular season?
I think the biggest thing was him getting better. A lot of people are writing this man off after a couple of summer league games, which to me is still absurd. I'll never forget. But again, Alex Sarr, playing in that ABL in Australia, there was a lot of development that needed to be happening. And I would say that right now the biggest con we always mention is that he hesitates to play it back to the basket, and lack of aggression is concerning, especially when you're 7 foot plus and you have that wingspan. Why aren't you attacking more? And sometimes can rely on that jump shot too much, and when that jump shot's not working, it's just like it's really not going anywhere offensively. But pros, I mean, defensively, rim protector. For so long here in DC, we needed a guy that could protect the rim. For as much as we love Marcin Gortat, he wasn't the best at blocking shots. So at the end of the day, Alex Sarr, second overall pick. Again, a lot of people were saying he should go first. He should have gone first. And at one point before he got hurt, when Jared McCain went out, he was leading the league in Rookie of the Year, potentially being Rookie of the Year. So I'm hoping to see more progression out of him. But the one thing I really hope I want to see from him is just being more aggressive, especially when you're against guys who are going up against guys who are undersized. Like, take advantage of it. Take it to the hole. You mentioned it. Kevin Garnett would be a guy that can mentor him because, again, he knew how to play, man. And if he finds a way to balance his offense, again, his bag, and defensively he's already up there, he's only going to get better. I mean, he's going to be a top 5 center in this league.
Oh, absolutely. I feel the same way about Sarr that I do with Coulibaly. I think they could be stars. I think if they're developed right, if they put the necessary work into their game, they could develop to be stars, man, in my opinion. Alex Sarr, we know what it is. I mean, he's swift at 7 foot. He can roll in transition. He's a lob threat. He's a guy who's definitely money. He can get not money yet. He definitely can work on it, but he's not too bad in the pick and roll, pick and pop. Definitely see some potential with him and Bub and Jordan Poole as far as being a nice 1-2 punch with the pick and pop and pick and roll. But his ability to stretch floor, shoot from 3-point, shoot from mid range. And, rim protection. That's the big area. The first area of his game that you're going to see some, big progression is rim protection. You see the rim protection. You see the defense in the paint. Now, 7-footer. Like I say it all the time, I definitely want to see him be more of a well-rounded center, play with his back to basket, be more active. And yes, his rebounding was better than it was with the NBL in Australia. He wasn't a big rebounder. The NBL, I don't know what they're doing, man. I mean, they were letting this guy bring the ball up. I mean, most possessions, and it's like, I mean, they didn't really set this man up for success in the NBA level because he's not going to do that here. There's times where maybe you can see that, but in my humble opinion, I don't want to see Alex Sarr bring the ball up. He needs to be already down and being set up. Like I don't see a scenario where I want to see him. Now I get it. There's times where you grab a rebound, you go. I get it. And he had his swiftness with his foot speed. He can be a weapon in transition. But as far as just setting up and going, nah, man, you need to get down there. let the point guard bring the ball up. But cons. Again, play with his back to the basket. Be more active. Show more aggression. He's very, very. He doesn't show the necessary aggression. But another pro, real quick, versatility. Because you mentioned 7-footer. Definitely still want to see him become more of a well-rounded 7-footer, especially as center. But can he play the 4? And that's kind of my question for you, real quick, is is he a better option at the 4 or the 5? And do you still target a 7-footer and even add in a couple of big men in this draft coming up if you strike out in the top 3?
Yeah, no, I think especially if they land Cooper Flag, which I'm hoping, that's going to be interesting to see how because Flag's at the 4 and push hard to the 5. So it's really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what the Wizards do this offseason when it comes to their draft room and see where they land, whether they can land Cooper Flag, and if not Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper, hopefully. Yeah. So at the end of the day, whatever Will Dawkins and Michael Winger decide to do, I am full on and on that. I still believe in them. I don't know. It's too late to doubt them because, again, they had a lot to deal with in the previous regime. So I'm hoping whatever Alex Sarr, whether it's power forward or center, he'll excel in both positions.
Look, man, in the words of the great Kevin Garnett, anything's possible, right? I mean, if you look at the name of the game of the NBA, if you look at the name of the game as far as what the Wizards are trying to build here, especially with Dawkins, man, who's done a great job in my opinion, is building through versatility. 3-and-D guys who can shoot from 3, who can defend at a high level and are versatile. I mean, Bilal Coulibaly can play the 2, play the 3. Don't want to see with the 4, but he's versatile. Alex Sarr can't play the 4, and I think it really depends on what direction he goes in this draft, what his long-term, his place is long-term. Because look, top 3 is obvious. At number 1, you're probably looking at. To me, everybody's different. I do see the appeal of Ace Bailey at 1, but to me, it's Flag or Harper. Just because there's certain things. The one thing that gets me about Ace Bailey is that yes, he's a microwave scorer. He's a walking bucket, but his lack of separation and getting past his defender, getting to the hole is one thing I kind of want to see him work on, man. Especially if you want to be a hopeful number 1 option at some point. So I definitely want to see a lot more separation as far as driving the lane. But like I said, Ace Bailey can't take away from he's a walking bucket. I get it. But if we miss out in the top 3, if we go top 5, you could argue it's 2 guard, put in the same backcourt. But then a lot of people look at Bob Carrington. This is a conversation I had with a couple of buddies. A lot of people see Bob Carrington as a 2 guard. So, if you strike it on Dylan Harper, then, do you necessarily go 2 guards? So to me, if we miss out on the top 3, which I don't think we will, I think we're definitely going to get a top 3 pick. But worst case scenario with top 5, you probably, the chances are maybe you trade back and you grab Derek Queen out of University of Maryland. I mean, he's a guy who, 6'9", kind of small for a center. He can slot maybe better at the power forward position, but he brings toughness. And I already mentioned before, you got Danny Wolf out of Michigan. I think that you still add a 7-footer in this draft. With right now it's still up in the air as far as what the draft, what position the second first-round pick is in the later stages of the first round. But I mean, go get another 7-footer because again, Alex Sarr can play the 4. Tristan Vucevic can play the 4. Go grab Danny Wolf. Easy. Grab him. I mean, and there's other options out there. You got Malak out of Duke, even though I don't think he will be within our reach. So this capabilities. I think that we have a lot of options, and that's the biggest thing to look at is we have options. We have the versatility. If you look at the vision of general manager Will Dawkins, is versatility, right? If you go out there and get a wing like Ace Bailey, you can slide Bilal to the 2. With Dylan Harper, you have a guy who, do you necessarily need to go out and go ahead and trade Jordan Poole? No. Let him develop. Harper needs to be developed. Let him sit, and then when it's time to pass the baton, you can do that. I mean, go out and Cooper Flag. You're probably looking at Cooper Flag sliding right in to be that power forward in the future. But we have a lot of capabilities, AB. A lot of capabilities, man. So, all right, guys. Like I said, I'm asking you, before we move on, man, you got anything else you want to cover as far as Bilal Coulibaly and or Alex Sarr?
I'm just saying, how great is it that we're talking about the ceiling of these young guys? For so long as Wizards fans, it's always been about bringing in these mediocre vets or just the young talent that we have. We let them go so easily, but now we can be so confident they're going to be here for the long term, and then eventually we'll be key pieces in a championship team.
No, I agree 100%, man. We're headed in the right direction. We have a really nice young core here. And when you look at the fact that we have 2 first-round picks in next year's draft, come on, man. Give my man Will Dawkins his flowers, man. I mean, the fact of the matter, he's doing a great job. I mean, you can look at, if you really want to nitpick, yeah, Kyle Kuzma was a dilemma. And you look at Tyus or KP, but I don't really knock him for that, man, because the fact of the matter, there was always a risk that we were going to lose Tyus or KP for nothing. And, looking at Kyle Kuzma, yeah, that was a slip. But, I mean, overall, he's done an immaculate job. I mean, look at what he did at the trade deadline. I mean, able to grab not only a first-round pick or an additional first-round pick in 2025, but 2026, 2 loaded drafts, a pick swap. And you got 2 intriguing prospects. Look, I encourage you guys, not only A.J. Johnson, go out there and look at Kobe Jones because raw, but he could flat out score. I mean, I'm saying, AB, go out there and look at his G League highlights from this year, man. Kobe Jones is a baller. And you can argue, we got a couple of nice young prospects and a couple of first-round picks and a pick swap. I mean, we have capabilities within the next 3 years. And this is going to be a very young but dangerous team, especially if everything falls in place as far as development. So, all right, guys, we're going to get into what to expect the end of the rest of the week as far as content and look at the schedule real quick because the Wizards are back in action on Friday. But before we get into that, tonight's episode is brought to you by Hungryroot. When it comes to grocery shopping and meal planning, I've had this ongoing problem. I just don't have the time. Between work, life, and trying to eat healthier, I was constantly feeling stressed out. I go to the grocery store, buy things I didn't need, and then end up with no time to actually cook it, right? And if not that, buying microwavable stuff, just I'm not sticking to my health goals. That was a struggle that I often deal with, guys. So, but everything's changed when I discovered Hungryroot. Honestly, it's been a game changer. It's the easiest way to eat healthy without all the stress. Well, Hungryroot is like having a personal shopper and a nutritionist all in one. Come on now. They take care of my grocery shopping, recommending meals and groceries based on my taste and health goals, from anti-inflammatory to high protein and even gluten-free options. And the best part, every meal is ready in 15 minutes or less. So if you're somebody who's on the go, you got kids, you work a lot, you're trying to balance working out and all these different things of being, an adult, 15 minutes or less. It's that easy. I'm talking quick, healthy meals that actually taste great, all delivered straight to your door. It's been a huge time saver and has made healthy eating so much simpler. So don't take my word for it, y'all. Come on. You're going to love Hungryroot as much as I do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box and a free item in every box for life. Woo! Just go to hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA and use code LockedOnNBA. That's hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA. Code LockedOnNBA to get your 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. For life, y'all. Hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA. Code LockedOnNBA. Come on now. Do not miss out. All right, AB, like I said, the All-Star game, or that calamity they call an All-Star game, is come and gone. And now we are into the second half of the 2024-2025 regular season. So looking at their schedule real quick now, Friday is our first action of the second half. I will be there covering the team. So I would definitely be there for the press conference. So, guys, we will not be going live on Friday night. We will be going live on Saturday night around 7 o'clock. So definitely tune in for that. Or I'm going to holler at AB, man. We'll let you guys know. But right now, it's probably looking at 7 a.m. What do you think, AB?
Yeah, no, I'm down for whatever. I'm very flexible, man. The Wizards, the second half of the season, I'm very, very excited for it because, again, not a lot of expectations, and now the older guys are gone. The young guys, like, I can't wait. It's okay if you see mistakes because at the end of the day, they're going to learn from it, and that's what it takes to build a championship team. Step one, you build from the ground up.
There you go, man. That was a heck of an answer, man. But he is definitely ready for 7 tomorrow. But I'm with you, AB. I'm very excited too, man, because this is going to be a chance to really see what these young guys can do in extended minutes, man. So I'm with you, man. Very, very, very excited, man. So like I said, guys, I will be covering the team at Cat 1 with the Bucks versus Wizards matchup. Also, coming up on Sunday, they're at Orlando. So like I said, we're going to go live on Saturday at 7 p.m. And we're going to go live on Sunday. It's a 6 o'clock game. So you're looking at probably 8:30. So 8:30 to 9 o'clock live. We're going to go live on Sunday. Monday, so we'll also do a preview because Monday is the back-to-back. They're at home against the Brooklyn Nets, so very winnable game. And then Wednesday, Denny Avdia's back in town. The Portland Trailblazers are back in D.C., so I'll also be at that game. It's on next Wednesday, so I'll also be at that game to see my guy Denny back in the 2-2, man. So, like I said, a lot of good content coming up. Tomorrow, we're going to get into grades. We're going to grade Corey Kispert and Keyshawn George tomorrow, man. So definitely tune in for that. And then Thursday, we're going to do the preview. And any kind of news that comes out, we're going to definitely chop it up with you guys on Thursday to get ready for Friday. So, all right, guys, before we roll, man, AB, got anything else you want to roll, man?
Nothing much, man. The second half of the season, stay tuned. Hopefully the Wizards still manage to get a top 3 pick, and hopefully Land Cooper Flag, he's still my guy. Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper won't kill us either. But at the end of the day, the Wizards team, be patient. Probably not a lot of wins like the first half of the season, but again, we're going to see improvement. Hopefully defensively, hopefully not a lot of games will be in the 130s, 140s anymore. And yeah, man, it's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. All right, we're going to roll, guys, but definitely appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on the dot. So again, guys, you have a blessed night. We'll see you tomorrow night. Hail to the Wizards and peace.